So saunas and ice baths, and especially the combination of the two, are all the rage right now, and for great reasons. They are amazing for promoting circulation and recovery and just overall resilience in our bodies. And if you've started training your feet, then it's obviously very important to promote recovery and resilience in your feet. And fortunately, there's a way that you can get all the benefits and then some for your feet without having to go to a wellness center or build a sauna in your backyard. All you need is a quick trip to your local hardware store and you can get started at home. So two of the natural inputs that the vast majority of people miss in their daily lives is exposure to temperature and exposure to texture and pressure. So that especially goes for the feet. It also goes for the whole body, but as applied to the feet, we can help supplement our lack of texture and pressure by using river rocks or pebbles. And we've just got these from our local hardware store. And you can actually combine that with temperature exposure by just getting some cold water. We've got ice water here, as you can see. We also neglected to rinse the pebbles, so there's a little bit of dirt there, but you know. So ice water, or it could just be cold water from the tap, and warm water from the tap, again, warm to hot depending on your tolerance. It's usually best to start conservative in terms of the actual temperature range, but over time you can build up your tolerance to a wider range of temperatures, assuming that you're keeping it safe and doing a touch test with your fingers or dipping your toe in, so to speak, before going in fully. So a couple of buckets here as well from the local hardware store, big enough for feet, and you can do one cold, one hot at the same time. So you would just step in. It's a good idea to set a timer, and you might just start with, say, 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how cold or warm each one is. And you could march around or sort of squish around a little bit like this, and just tune into the sensations that you're getting in your feet. And obviously that comes from the temperature and the texture. And you could shift your weight side to side. It's always good to check in with your breathing as you do this, especially if either of those inputs is uncomfortable or intense. Then checking in with your breathing and keeping that calm and relaxed is a really great tool to help you push through or help you accommodate that intensity. And of course, once your timer goes off, or even beforehand, if you feel you need it, then you could swap. And I'll be turning my back to you here, but you could swap like so, and just redo or reset the timer rather, and then you'll get the balance of the two. So this exposure to these natural textures is great for building resilience in the feet, and it's helping you actually build sensitivity as well. So we want the feet to be sensitive, as in they pick up the sensations coming from the ground or from whatever environment you're in. But we also want them to be resilient to those sensations. And also the contrast therapy, which a lot of people will recognize from doing sort of saunas and ice baths, things like that. That contrast therapy is a really great way to improve circulation of an area or of the body without necessarily having to move it. So obviously you want to be doing movements with the feet, you want to be doing exercises that promote circulation, and you want to be using your feet through walking and so on. All of that is really great, but when you're resting your feet, contrast therapy like this is a really great way to promote that circulation without necessarily having to add more load as well. So as I said, you'd want to start pretty conservative with the actual temperature. You wouldn't have to have two different textures. You could just pick one or the other, and you may not even use textures, but it would be highly recommended. And start conservative with the temperature, start conservative with the time as well. And then over time, you could build up both of those as your tolerance improves. And a good place to aim for would be potentially 3 to 5 rounds of 1 minute hold in each bucket. And then you could start even 1 or 2 times a week is a really great place to aim for. Obviously, you could do this every day if you had the time or the inclination. And after you've tried it once, I think you probably will have the inclination to do it more than once a week. So have a go at that and take notes on how your feet respond and how they feel afterwards. And potentially you may not have to check the temperature, but how much time you're spending, and over time you can build that up as you take notes, and yeah, keep checking in with how they're feeling, and also compare to how they feel when you go out in nature barefoot, if and when you go out there. So this is actually a bonus module that was taken from our foot restoration program, which is a 12-week program that takes you through every step of the journey towards restoring your natural foot function. So if you are looking for more structured guidance on your foot health journey, then you can check out all the details of that program through the link in the description below.